Merci, Mr. President. I won't go further than that, otherwise I'm exposed. My poor French. President Chisano, you're most welcome, sir.
I have the mic.
The mic.
Thank you very much. I have 3 minutes to speak. After hearing so many speeches, I have so many ideas coming to my head. And so I cannot really try to make sense of all what I'm going to say, because my head is still boiling. Let me take the advantage that my elder brother, Iris, with whom we worked together since 1961, and we discussed about how we could participate in the liberation of our countries. Now, he started to speak by saying he is going to put 2 ideas. Well, maybe I will say also a few ideas, maybe 3. But as I said, if I arrive at the 3rd, and then I'm excited to speak about the 4th one. Now, we are celebrating tomorrow the African or Organization of African Union. I think it's 49th anniversary. And when this date arrives, we have to think how things started. And the main speakers have reminded us all of that. But then we have to answer a question which is coming very often among youth, but also among the not so young people. They ask, do you think it was worth it to fight? It was worth it to fight. You were in the liberation movements, and some put it differently. Was it necessary really to fight? To answer to that, one has to try and think about how Africa was yesterday, how Africa was in 1963, and think how Africa is today. Look at us in this room. I even don't see today many white faces. And I know, I see them here. I see many. But in 63, I don't know how it would have been in a university like this. I was today in Stellenbosch, but not at the university. But the place itself tells everything. What that university looked like. How does it look like today? So, but we find this question comes, was it necessary to fight? Was it worth fighting? Do you think that this is the Africa our forefathers, the founders of ONM, thought that we want to build? Is this Africa? So the tendency is to think about the bad things. What is wrong? What is wrong? What is wrong? But I think that in days like today, when we celebrate the OAU 49th anniversary and the 10th anniversary of African Union, we should try to be proud. There's a lack of pride of good things which Africa has achieved. And we should think about our achievements. There are plenty. There are many things of a tendency by the press from somewhere trying to to give us the impression that Africa is a lost continent. But when I see all these students here, when I see all these professors here, and those who eloquently spoke, I say Africa is not a lost continent. Africa is the continent of the future. And the other thing is that we don't have confidence on ourselves. But Pires has already spoke about that. We don't have confidence that we can build, we can do things. These two gentlemen here, Olusegun Obasanjo and Becky, they tried to bring us this idea of new partnership for development of Africa. And many of us misunderstood them. And we thought that they were saying new partnership between Africa and Europe for the development of Africa. But they were saying new partnership because we are partnering first among ourselves in Africa. So that we liberate Africa. As Pierre said, we have to be confident. But this lack of confidence, I would like the youth to be confident. Well, it's not because he's an American that I'm not going to repeat what he said, but he's half African. He said, you can. Yes, we can. But this lack of confidence makes us to repeat only what other people like us to say. There's shortcomings, there are mistakes in Africa. We should not ignore them, but we should make sure that it's we who are going to bypass mistakes and bring new things. The third thing which I would like to touch on is this question of democracy. Today, when we speak about democracy, we say that Africa is working up towards democracy since 1990. They refer 90. And I would like you youth to start thinking that struggle which those old men there, some of you call us dinosaurs, those old men there, they were fighting for what? If you don't know, I'm going to answer you today. We were fighting for democracy. OAU was organized, was created to fight for democracy. We speak about liberation, but we forget that our countries were living under dictatorships. Colonialism, apartheid were dictatorships and fascism. We fought for democracy. So Africa did not think about democracy since the 1980s or 90, when the West was going after us, saying, you must become Democrats, multi-party, this and that. No. We thought that even our ancestors had some sort of democracy. And so we had to fight for democracy. When they were under the shade, the chief there did know better than us. But it is. Because when under 8 shades of trees, my daughter, they were there. It was some sort of democracy. And so, we should not be shy to say that who is going to build democracy in Africa is ourselves, and we will, as it was said also, we will build it within the conditions of our culture. And we have our steps. We will commit mistakes, but we must be confident that we may become the good examples of democracy. Now we are having all these elections and so on and so on, but the elections are not all democracy. Democracy, participation of everybody, not only in decision making, not in choosing only, but participation in construction, in production, and partaking of the results of this construction and this production. The equity. Democracy is to have our women free, participating with us. For that, we have also to defeat the bad things of our own culture, because our culture has to evolve. So the main message here is that democracy is something which OAU fought for, and today we can say that all of Africa is speaking about democracy and practicing democracy and trying to deepen democracy. And we say we have started, and the development of democracy has got no limits. We have to keep on bringing to perfection. Thank you.